Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I titled this a mukbang tea party. And people say mukbang different ways, but I'm going to say it like that. And basically, it started in Korea in 2010. And it was where they would have these live talks while eating tremendous amounts of food. Like the goal was to consume a lot of food during your talk. Well, my kitchen is closed, but the tea bar is open, and I've got my jumbo teacup with my favorite tea of the moment in it. And though it appears to be an ad for Hershey's, that's just actually a really warming, precious time for me. Christmas and just the smell of all things like that. I think I'm okay. But forgive me if I'm provoking you with my Hershey's cup. So, in line with mukbang, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. One moment, please. I just want it while it's hot and amazing. So what is my tea? I'm glad you asked. It's actually this stash tea, which I just get at Winco, but it's available everywhere. And this one is licorice root with some other spices. And some of the spices are everything from orange peel to orange oil and cinnamon, a couple of different things in here. What was distressing was I didn't know there was a warning on it. And it literally says if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, have heart disease or high blood pressure, this is not the tea for you, which I thought was so interesting. I'm like, Sadly, I'm not pregnant, and luckily I don't have heart disease or high blood pressure. So part of the reason I just absolutely love this tea, besides just the aroma of it, is that it reminds me so much of my Grandpa Parks, which was my mother's father, and his favorite gum was blackjack gum. And I don't chew gum anymore, but I am, by all accounts, a gum addict, which I know, and yes, I'm going to name it and claim it because I've proved it on way too many occasions. And now, other than chicle, which is a totally natural gum from the chicle tree, I don't prefer gum because I know it's just full of toxins. And I used to justify it by saying, well, it's only, 10 calories a slice. How bad can it be? It can be bad. It can be really bad. So what about you? What's your favorite tea? Do you change yours all the time? I change mine all the time. I mean, I have some diehards, and like this one, like I said, it makes me just feel comforted, makes me think of family, and I love it. But I do change them out quite a bit. And this is already my second cup, and this cup is 32 ounces. 32 ounces, is that right? No, 24. It looks like 32. It's only 24. So I'm getting 6 cups of water. No calories, and just totally enjoying it. All right, so what else was I going to share with you? I wanted to talk about my ankles, which I mentioned a couple of videos ago, where my ankles were really swollen, and I was crazy concerned because, I can ill afford to be hospitalized or have edema, right? I just don't want to have edema. There's no reason for it. And unfortunately, my legs were really swelling. Of course, one of the reasons was that I stopped rebounding, partly because I was injured. I had hurt my knee really badly. And then my rebounder, I was afraid, was part of the problem. And I decided to invest in a Bellicon, which is kind of like the limo, right? The limo of rebounders. And I got it at 10% off, but even at 10% off, it was still $810. And then the shipping was an additional $39. And the shipping was really disappointing. It was by DHL, and they promised it on Monday. It didn't come till Tuesday. And when you're excited about something, that's just a bummer. And then ultimately, when I got the Bellicon, I got the wrong what are they called? Don't tell me. Bungee cords, because instead of springs, which I always seem to have, it's bungee cords. And I'm going to argue that they sent me the wrong ones. They said that I didn't order the proper ones, but I spent so much time trying to perfectly order my Bellicon with all the things that I wanted. It was a bit of a shock. So I had to wait an additional week. I continue to walk a mile a day, a minimum of a mile a day, and get my 10,000 plus steps in. So I don't want you to think I was just resting on my laurels, but I was not doing the Bellicon. The rebounding. My dogs had already adopted my Rebounder. And I was content to just wait on that. So my bungees came today, and I will be happy to report tomorrow on what I'm thinking about those bungee cords. And I will say that I actually ended up purchasing the strongest cords. I figured I've been rebounding practically a year. I'm still heavy, and I decided to go with the ultra strong. And I'm hoping that's really going to make the difference. All right, but regarding my swollen ankles, besides all of that, what I remembered was that when I was first trying to get well, I was using some supplements, which as I got comfortable, I stopped using, and maybe it was premature for me to stop using them. So now I just restarted using them when my ankles were swelling so bad, 10 days ago, 2 weeks, whatever, and all of my swelling is gone. And so I'm going to stay the course on using those supplements, and I just wanted to reiterate what they were. So this one is Hawthorn extract, which comes from the Hawthorn berry. It's 150 milligrams. It's kind of recommended you take 3 a day, but depending on the shape you're in, if you don't have swelling per se, or you're just trying to improve things like your cholesterol, if you're trying to improve your blood pressure, this is the one. This does all things for the heart. And the brand, and I know this is all backwards to you, is Puritans Pride. And I'm super proud and happy. And no, I don't endorse anything, but Puritans Pride is one of my favorites because I think they're very fair, they're honest, they give great deals. Like, buy one, get 2 free, buy 2, get 4 free. It's amazing. And they're really good about their return policy. But mostly I haven't had to return anything. I prefer to get capsules, and this is a capsule. This, though, is a caplet. And so it might be a little harder to digest, maybe. And this is called horse chestnut. And horse chestnut is specifically for circulation. This one is for everything to do with the heart. So again, if you have high blood pressure, if you have cholesterol, if you need anything like that, I used it to help my kidneys get well. But this one is specifically, am I saying it right? Specifically, yeah, for swelling, to reduce swelling and inflammation. And so I just recommend 2 of these a day. But again, read it for yourself and determine for yourself. But again, Puritans Pride, but it's a caplet. And so my mother taught me a long time ago, because she's just been so healthy and the queen of supplements and everything else, to put the supplements in apple cider vinegar or just regular vinegar, and they should be able to dissolve within, seriously, 30 seconds, 1 minute, because it's so similar to the acids in the stomach. I'm pretending to be comfortable drinking this, can you tell? Like I'm actually reminding myself, take a sip of the tea, darling, because it's a muckbang tea party. What's up? Yo, where's your cup? Where's your tea? Let's mukbang on. All right, so all of their things have readily dissolved in a proper period of time. I had gotten some calcium with vitamin D. I think vitamin D helps to break down calcium. And I had got that supplement from somewhere else, and it did not break down. It was in there for hours, and I was like, I'm not going to have any luck in my tummy either. So anyway, I do highly recommend Puritans Pride. It's online. You can look it up. It's not the quickest in terms of shipping. It usually takes about 10 days to 2 weeks rather than 3 to 5 days, but I don't pay for extra shipping, and I'm willing to wait because I always keep myself organized enough to where I don't actually run out. So praise God, my ankles are completely unswollen, but I am not going to share my hotness with you right now. The hottest thing I'm sharing with you is my tea. Thank you very much. And I like the way my face disappears into this gigantic cup. Oh God, what was that? It was so many years ago. Lily Tomlin sitting in her gigantic chair. Oh God, what was that comedy show? I don't know, and I probably only saw it in reruns because I'm far too young for that. But yeah, it was super funny. She was a great character. She wore little girl clothes and sat in an oversized chair. And that's how I feel. When I get to drink this gigantic cup, I feel very little and cared for. So I'll stay with that. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to check in. It's Friday. I made it through my week. I'm so proud of myself. And if anybody's been following me, you remember my week. It started out with my partner teacher having a stroke, right? So from days at the hospital to the insanity of working with a substitute to having 50 kids a day more than once, and even on the third day having a third of a class of fourth graders. It's been a lot of stuff, but I did many things right. I mostly walked right, and ate right, and I walked and walked. So I'm going to be sharing more about that when I reflect on my week on Monday, because we will already be down to that lucky number 13 weeks before 2020, and appearing as the best version of ourselves. Are you guys in on that? I pray that you are. I just love licorice. I love black licorice. My husband can't stand it. What a great surprise. There's a lot of things like that. I love horseradish. Can't stand it. I love, what is it? You put it on a hot dog. Back when you used to eat hot dogs. Sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. My husband can't stand it. There's certain things he's just like, you bring that into the house and I'm leaving. So it's a good deterrent if I want him to go somewhere. Just kidding. But it's great because we don't have to be the same. We just have to respect and love one another, right? And even right now, in many ways, he's eating more fruit and vegetables. But he's a meat and potatoes guy, and he still eats like that. He can't eat like he used to, and he blames me for turning him into a Californian in the land of, what does he say, nuts and raisins, I think, or fruit and nuts. He's like, you're from the land of fruit and nuts, and I can't even go back to Texas and show my face because I can't even eat a 72-ounce steak. There's this famous place in Texas where if you eat a 72-ounce steak, along with all the sides and the desserts, not only will they pay for the whole meal, but you get your picture up on the wall. My husband's picture is on that wall. We even drove through Texas one time and he showed me. It's not who he is anymore, but, we long for things sometimes, even if they're not healthy for us. So, okay, one more sip in my lovely cup of my delicious tea. Be sure and share below, what are your favorite teas? Did you consider any of these supplements I told you about? Do you recommend something? I'm not a supplement girl, but I like to ease my burden on my kidneys, which are still in healing mode, though they're doing amazing. And these were a godsend for me at different times in my life. And Hawthorn in particular, I will probably take this for the rest of my life. I really attribute it to saving my kidneys. And horse chestnut I've used many times. I didn't expect to have to use it again, but until I am actually completely at my regular weight, which will be 128. It's so funny. My sister taught me that when people say, well, what's the least you've weighed? You say 7.2 ounces. And that's all people need to know. All right, my friends. Like if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. I would love it. And until we talk again, trust that you're blessed.